The woman was only a palace maid, but when she saw the retired emperor, she cried and said, "I am your mother." Everyone was worried when they heard this, but to their surprise the retired emperor knelt down at once, then threw himself into the arms of the maid crying and calling her mother. The reason for this strange scene was that the maid was not from this dynasty at all. Her true identity was the founding empress from 60 years ago. Back then the court was corrupt. When she and her husband rebelled, they were trapped by enemy troops. To help her husband and son escape, the woman chose to stay behind alone, and died tragically on the battlefield. But miraculously, her soul entered the body of a palace maid with the same name 60 years later. At that moment the maid was being bullied by several companions. She immediately stood up. With her top-level martial arts from her past life, she gave them a harsh lesson, then learned from them the current year. She instantly realized her son had already become emperor. Just then the crown prince arrived with people. When the woman saw a face identical to her husband, she could not hold back her tears. At that moment a eunuch reported that the retired emperor had fainted. He left right away. Hearing that her son was in danger, the woman grew anxious. She went to the crown prince again, saying she had a way to wake him up, but the crown prince did not believe her, and turned to leave. The woman then spoke a secret phrase that only their family knew. The crown prince immediately questioned how she knew it. The woman said she would only explain after the retired emperor woke, so the crown prince brought her into the palace chamber. When she saw the unconscious retired emperor, the woman could not help but cry, calling him by his childhood nickname. This puzzled the crown prince. To clear his doubts, he gave her a token to freely enter and leave the palace chamber. From then on, whenever she had time, the woman went to her son, constantly expressing her longing for him. Her frequent visits to the palace caught the attention of the crown princess. She thought the maid was the crown prince's new lover. Just then the retired emperor's hand moved. The woman was overjoyed. She quickly called for the imperial doctor, but after the diagnosis, she was told it would still take some time before he woke up. The woman left in disappointment. On her way back, she was surrounded by people sent by the crown princess. At that very moment the unconscious retired emperor opened his eyes. He urgently wanted to find the person who had just sung the nursery rhyme. Meanwhile the woman was being targeted by the crown prince's bow and arrow. The retired emperor walked out and saw the woman wounded by the crown prince's arrow. He immediately felt furious.